my name is Liv and I am the chef on boat Heerlijckheid.
Perfect. So you've just done the MYBA chef competition today. How did it go? Have you done the competition before?
I've never done it before and it was terrifying. Not because they made it terrifying though, everyone was so nice, but it was just completely new. I didn't know what to expect. Yeah.
Perfect.
But
so what was the theme was foraging this year?
The theme
and
was foraging.
How did you manage that?
Yeah, so when I first got the theme, I thought, it's like my mind went blank.
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly think of anything. I was like, what am I going to make with like grass? And then I went out for a little walk, and I just started looking around at things which you might think are maybe weeds or whatever, and you start looking really closely and then you smell it and you're like, oh, do you know what? I think that's wild fennel. So I just put it in a little bag, and then I kind of carried on, and I sort of recognised some herbs. I took those. A few things I had no idea what I was going to do with, but I just thought I'll bag it up because I know that's a thing. Like, I've heard of that. I know people preserve these, or that rings a bell, or I'll just pick it and see what happens. Just a little bits here and there, brought them back to the boat. And then it was like my mind just exploded, and suddenly I had all these ideas and I started like piecing them together into a menu, and I was like, wow, that was actually so fun. Instead of being like a really limiting thing, it ended up being something that made me think way more creatively than I ever would have, I think.
Yeah, so quite freeing, I guess.
Yeah, in the end.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So what ingredients did you manage to forage?
So I foraged, well, our deckhand engineer, William, he was driving the tender and he pulled a massive log of teak out of the sea that he thought was quite cool. He used to be a carpenter. Wow. So he was able to say that's teak, and we had him like trim it, sand it, cut it down and make a table decoration with it with candles inside, which was quite cool. And I asked for the little trimmings of wood, so I used those to smoke my starter, which was a scallop. So I had that nice kind of like sea salty woody smell going through it. And I also got some rosemary from France, which I had smoked into it too. I got loads of nettles. My hands are still stinging.
Oh no!
I was like, I don't need gloves. I do. I always saw like nettle soup as a thing in like books, and I thought I'm gonna give it a go. And I kind of made it around the scallop with morcilla and like Spanish black pudding, because we're in Spain. So I kind of wanted to tie in like different elements of things I'd found, where I'm from, where I am. You know.
Amazing. That's a really nice way of taking it. Yeah. And then, so what did you feel main course?
Main course. So I found some elderflower trees. Okay. Some were in bud and some were in bloom. Oh. So I was like, well, I'll just take both. A few flowers, a few buds, and then a little look on old Google says you can pick all the buds.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess they'll be kind of like capery then, because they're just little small green things. So then I was kind of thinking, like, what can I do with capers, or like as an alternative to capers that might be cool? And then I had the fennel as well. I was thinking kind of fish, and I went down a kind of sole meunier with a twist.
Nice.
I also found some prickly pear, like the cactus, and my hands are also stinging.
There's a theme here.
Genuinely, yeah. There's a reason people don't just like put this in the supermarket. Like. So I found like the paddles of the cactus. And I was in Mexico last year. I took the season, like the winter season out, and went to the Mexico, sorry. And I remember eating, they call it like nopal over there, nopales. Yeah. And they have a lot of like vegetarian food with these, you know, cactus things they've cooked, and they're almost like green beans by the time they deal with them. I was like, oh, that goes with the fish, because then it's kind of like fish, beans, but with a twist. So I had the cactus and some fresh asparagus, and some nice brown butter, some lemon. Amazing. That was my main.
And then desserts.
So I had my elderflowers that I hadn't used yet.
Yeah.
So I infused that into a panna cotta.
Nice.
And then I used the flowers, because I didn't want to waste too much. So I used the flowers that I'd infused to then crystallize and make a little decoration on the top. I had brambles. I heard you can make bramble tea. Yeah. So I kind of made a tea, and then I made that into a sorbet with forest fruits as well.
Yeah.
And I had the prickle pear actual fruits that are beautiful colour. They're like really dark, kind of pinky, almost like a beetroot colour.
Oh, beautiful.
And I made a kind of coulis with that. And that was my dessert.
Amazing. That sounds incredible. So how do you feel it went?
I think think pretty well. Honestly, like, the wind has made me cry. Just a tear just comes to your eye. I'm so emotional about my menu. Like, oh my god, I think it went so well. I know. I think it went well. I was really proud of what I came up with and how I presented it, and like I say, it was so new to me.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you kind of went on a journey with it as well.
Yeah, I felt like that. I left at the end. I was just like, oh my goodness, I've done it! I can't believe it, me.
Amazing.
And they asked me at the end, the chefs. They were like, so where did you train? I was like, I didn't. And that was like a really wonderful moment for me, because as much as I'm proud of that and that I've kind of learned it all by doing it and by having a passion, and that no one sat me down and taught me, massive imposter syndrome, especially in like that situation. I think that's why I was so nervous, because I was like, it's just me, like I don't know what I'm doing. Amazing. I'll give it a go, but like, you know.
Well, hopefully it's good news tomorrow. And have you got any advice for future chefs entering competitions?
Give it a go. If I can do it, you can.
Amazing.
It doesn't need to be as stressful as you think. They were actually really nice. As much as I put a lot of pressure on myself, they were all so nice, and happy to be there, and you know, positive. It wasn't like MasterChef where they're like, you know.
Yeah, excellent.
Just nice people come from it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us, and we wish you all the best tomorrow.
Thank you.
We can't wait for the results. Thank you.
Cheers.